We made a brief appearance there, didn't we, on the live stream? We briefly popped up for a split second and then disappeared again. Wasn't that fun?
Well,
everyone?
you know how it is. We just can't stay away.
I know. The hazards of live broadcasting, what can I say? Ben, I have a question for you.
Okay, I have an answer, Jack.
Well, we'll see if you do.
Oh.
If you were given 4 magic feathers, what would you want them to do? And I can give you some thinking time, because I can tell you what mine are.
Okay.
Well, I've got 2 dogs. You know, you often hear them talking to me or trying to talk to me during the show.
Right.
So 2 of those magic feathers would be reserved for being able to talk to my dogs, because I think those would be some fascinating conversations about just how much they enjoy life. I think that's most of the time when they're trying to vocalize stuff. It's like, we're having a really good time. So I think it would be a lot of that.
Yeah.
And then I think the other 2 would be reserved for the household chores that I really don't enjoy. It would be things like magically being able to load the dishwasher, straight away, loading and unloading the dishwasher. For some reason, it's a 2-second task, but I never get around to it. And then the other thing would be mowing my lawn. Absolutely can't stand doing that. Being out in the heat, particularly right now, it's too hot outside for that. So I would want a magic feather reserved for pushing my lawnmower along by itself.
Right. Yeah. I'm going to answer your question with a question. Can I combine the powers of 4 feathers into 1?
4 feathers into 1?
Can I use?
I mean, I guess so, because it's like he does use sort of 2 feathers to do one thing. Yeah, okay, all right, I'll allow that.
Because I don't have any animals like yourself, and I don't have any guns to fire. So I'm thinking, maybe the power of flight would be handy. Maybe if I had a feather in each hand and then 1 in each toe.
Right.
I could just...
You reckon you're a 4 feather job for getting you up in the air? Because I think I would need at least 8. To get me off the ground, I need at least 8. So, you know, good for you.
Well, who knows how many feathers it takes? That's one of those, how many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll Pop questions.
You just alienated the entire British audience there with that. Nobody out there knows what a Tootsie Roll is.
Well, these things that you can learn from the Security Hazard show, like what a Tootsie Roll Pop is.
The Security Hazard show. Let's get into it. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Security Hazard Show, a podcast which is the only place on Earth to be on a Wednesday night. See what I did there?
I agree. Yeah. Your host is a gentleman whose guns can fire without him even touching them. It's the one and only Jack Knoll.
Well, thank you. My guns do tend to go off without being touched. Yeah, let's not go there. He is a rootin', tootin', highfalutin' sheriff with a smile.
That's me.
Page. That is
I brought out my Western duds. I don't have the hat, but this is sort of cowboyish, wouldn't you say?
Well, it's very appropriate. Very, very appropriate, because we are indeed talking all about Four Feather Falls today. Four Feather Falls.
What is Four Feather Falls?
It's Jerry Anderson's Western puppet series, made in 1959, broadcast in 1960, coming before Supercar, before Fireball XL5, Stingray, Thunderbirds, before all of those shows. The first TV series that Jerry Anderson and the AP Films team made off of their own back was Four Feather Falls, co-created by musical maestro Barry Gray. Which is why we have all of those wonderful songs that we can reference as well.
Amazing. Yeah. Four Feather Falls. Yeah. I mean, this is going to be a bit of a love fest for Four Feather Falls, because it's one of those shows that you kind of it's easy to overlook in comparison to some of the other shows. I think the other shows are maybe flashier, and westerns are not as popular now as sci-fi.
Right.
I think it's fair to say. But
Yeah.
it's just such a lovely gem of a show. I mean,
Absolute
so well
gem.
done. In its own way, it's like the very best of them all. So
I think so. I mean,
its
I
own
think
way.
everyone knows I have a very high opinion of Four Feather Falls because it is, in a way, I think it's Super Mario Nation boiled right down to the basic principles, because it's obviously a Western series. You don't have the sci-fi vehicles that you get in later shows from the Andersons, so in a way the puppets have to lead the action, and boy oh boy do they get a lot of action in. It's 39 15-minute episodes, which for me, that's great pacing. Every episode is just a little bite-sized treat. Just truly wonderful stuff, and very rich world building, which I'm sure we'll get to talk about in a few moments as well. And today, what we're doing is we're going to dial it down to one very specific episode that we have chosen to do a special assignment on, and that is the episode Gold Diggers. But also later on, we're doing a new segment called Hijacked, which, well, Ben, you don't know anything about this, do you?
I know nothing about this, less than nothing.
Because by its very nature, Hijacked is the part of the show where I hijack the whole podcast. Ben doesn't know what we're doing. Nothing is planned. And he's just going to have to kind of ride along with whatever I've got cooked up. So,
yeah,
you excited for that, Ben?
This is basically your revenge on me for my Big Ben Strikes Again segment a few weeks ago. Yes. Now you get to
the antidote to that, you might say. Yes, exactly.
Antidote. I seem to recall there were lots of smiling faces when I.
That's true.
When I
struck
That's
again. True. It was very good. We enjoy it when you strike, not just again, but over and over again. We welcome it. But for now, we're going to start with our special assignment.
I have received a report from Spectrum Intelligence. It will mean I have a special assignment for you.
Oh, beautiful.
But it's a sewer.
We'll need a team.
I hope you will forgive me.
Gold Diggers. What did you think
Diggers.
of Gold Diggers, Ben, overall?
You know, I had not seen this one before, and I was extremely pleased with it. It's a lovely little piece of Four Feather Falls history. I love the sort of, they're the template for Master Spy and Zarin, Pedro and Fernando. A lovely pair of characters who this episode focuses on quite a bit. So they were the highlight for me. I assume you've seen this episode many times. What do you like about it, Jack?
So many times. I like it because it is a very Pedro and Fernando centric episode. The comedy in there is just such good fun. It's just so sweet and charming, and everything that's going on in there. It's very intelligently written. It isn't like, there's obviously a little bit of kind of slapstick and very broad humor in there, but there's also something quite clever about how sort of Tex Tucker and the rest of the town kind of trick Pedro and Fernando into doing something to help them out. So I just think that's all really good fun. We should say, because I'm gonna get, I know that Four Feather Falls is not the most widely watched Anderson show, so for the benefit of people watching who have no idea what Gold Diggers is about, briefly to summarize, Pedro and Fernando find a treasure map, and they basically work out that the gold on their map is buried underneath the jailhouse. And so the plan is, let's get ourselves arrested so that we can go digging for gold in the jailhouse. However, not only is there no gold underneath the jailhouse, but actually Tex Tucker would quite like to replace the floor of the jailhouse anyway, so it's kind of helps everyone out a little bit. So the original plan is for Fernando to get arrested. However, Tex, kind of knowing that Pedro is scared of manual labor, decides, I'll take Pedro in instead. Let's make the out of shape guy do all the work because that's funny.
Yeah.
And then it just so happens that also Marvin Jackson, who runs the bank, which is across the street from the sheriff's office, he can't get into the bank strong room, and he really needs to pay some cowboys. So he really needs to get into his strong room. Fortunately, Pedro manages to dig all night long underneath the street across into the bank strong room, and that's where he starts pulling out gold, but he hands it out of the jailhouse window and into the hands of Tex Tucker. So
Wow.
That's the episode in a nutshell.
That's a great summary. Refresh my memory. Why is it that he can't get into the bank vault?
The key is broken.
The key broke. Right.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Which is jolly unhelpful. But I guess that's how it worked in those days. Yeah, so there we go. Let's start by just running through a few facts. This episode was directed by Jerry Anderson himself, as was the case with sort of the first half of Four Feather Falls. He directed before handing off to some other familiar names later on. This was written by Phil Ressler, who was a regular writer for the series. What do you know about Phil Ressler, Ben?
I know basically nothing about Phil Ressler. Tell me about Phil Ressler.
Well, his big claim to fame is actually nothing to do with writing at all. He was the second unit director on The Italian Job.
Ah!
He directed many of the car chases in The Italian Job.
Wow.
So there you go. About as far removed from Four Feather Falls as you can get, but that is
Pretty
my little
much.
fact for you there.
That is a very interesting fact. It seems like
Yeah.
he's had quite a career just glancing at his IMDb.
Yeah,
Different
definitely.
things.
Yeah. But, I mean, he wrote probably about 2/3 of the episodes of Four Feather Falls, just really churning those scripts out. Obviously, they're 15-minuters, so probably relatively quick to put together, but still, would you agree the quality of the writing is...
They're always really well constructed scripts. They always have a clear beginning, middle, and end. They always have great, intrigue, drama. They're all ideas that could be... They're not weak ideas. They're not the sort of ideas that you're just like, oh, we'll just toss that off in a 15-minute, whatever, song and dance number. No,
Right.
It's always like a real plot with a hook and intrigue and a twist. They're always really well written episodes for Feather Falls. I found.
I suppose it's because there's such a rich history of Western movies. They probably had so much to draw on, and there probably was a sort of a desire there to basically make a mini movie every week, which is why those plots feel so complete. It's because you've basically got a whole movie squeezed into less than 15 minutes, I believe.
Yeah. No shade on Muffin the Mule, but this is a lot more robust than
Oh my goodness,
the Mule.
yes.
It's just really well plotted out. So
Yeah, it really is.
speaking of tropes, Western tropes, how do you feel about some of the tropes in Four Feather Falls? Do you feel like it leans too heavily on stereotypes, maybe, or?
I mean, it certainly does use some stereotypes. But I think that's what is appealing about it, is that it's for me, because I have not actually watched that many Western movies. For me, it's kind of the perfect entry into that world, because you have the sheriff and he's quite broadly drawn, and you have the bandits, and you have the old grandpa character and the general store owner. You've got all of those archetypes just there populating the town. So makes it feel very, as I say, very rich and kind of, I don't know, just makes it feel real to me without sort of being, I suppose, off-putting in the sense that there's not too much to learn either.
Mhm.
But you quite like Western movies, don't you? You've
I
seen a fair
do.
few.
Yeah, I've done an entire podcast about Western movies.
Amazing.
So I've
Well,
seen a
so
lot of Westerns.
what then would you say are some of the influences here? 'Cause I'm at
feels-
a loss on that.
It feels a lot like your standard like television Western. It's kind of similar to Gunsmoke.
Okay.
In terms of like the main street of the town. I believe in Gunsmoke it's Dodge City. There's in Gunsmoke it's a marshal. In this town it's a sheriff. In Four Feather Falls it's a sheriff. So there's sort of, the characters play similar roles to that. There's a lot of that kind of influence. I think that's probably the single largest influence.
Yeah.
I want to say the Rifleman, but the Rifleman may not have started yet. But it is quite similar to the Rifleman.
Okay.
Which came later, I think.
Interesting.
There's lots of. I mean, the Western genre goes back to the silent film era, and basically when there were still cowboys roaming the range when Westerns started, so they kind of almost overlap.
Interesting.
The existence of
That's
the Western,
so funny.
the existence of the movie.
Yeah.
So one influenced the other in a big way.
But that is sort of one of the charms as well of watching Four Feather Falls now, is that obviously it's talking about oldie times, but it's also, it looks like an oldie times picture because it's black and white, and
it does.
It feels like a time capsule. It feels like a bit of an antique, and that's always enjoyable to me. The fact that it is so much a product of its time, I think, is kind of watch it with that context in mind. Some of the stereotypes we might look upon now as not being very positive at all, but if you understand the historical context and where those things come from, it as I say, it's a good curio, but also as a piece of filmmaking, and a piece of Jerry Anderson filmmaking, for me it's great to look at it as kind of, well, that's where Super Mario Nation started. And
absolutely.
That, I think, is important to understand those roots, to understand what kind of comes later, why certain decisions were made about what puppets do and don't do in the later shows. I think it's all being worked out before our eyes in Four Feather Falls.
Absolutely.
It's lovely to see.
It's a fun thing to watch.
Yeah. The other thing that is that stands out, and trying to get started on the episode proper, but I want to talk a bit about the opening titles.
Yes, let's talk about the opening titles.
It's such a neat, tidy little summary of the whole show.
Yes.
Just
lovely
explaining.
Opening narration from David Graham really sets the mood. The drum beats, even in those early days, they were looking for ways to get the audience excited with the music. That sort of call, it's like it would rattle through the house and everybody would come gather around the TV to see the episode. It just has that perfect flavor of like exactly what a TV intro from that time should be.
Yeah, exactly.
I watched this episode with my wife, who had never seen an episode of Four Feather Falls before.
Right.
And she was familiar vaguely with the concept because of the songs, which I play around the house and whistle and sing around the house all the time. But she'd never watched it. So she didn't know that Tex Tucker's guns fire without him even touching them. And it caught her a little bit off guard, shall we say. His guns sprang to life.
Yes.
On his hips.
Yes. Well, you could look at that and make some vulgar assumptions, I suppose, but for me it's perfectly innocent.
Now, do you think they were doing it on purpose? Do you think that they were trying to make an innuendo for the parents?
No, I don't think so. I really don't think
accident?
So. I think it was an accident. I'm sure they probably realized quite quickly that that's what was happening. But no, I wouldn't have thought that was being considered at the time. It was honestly probably more about like, how do we... It was probably actually thinking about the limitations of the puppets. Like, well, a puppet can't necessarily draw their gun very quickly.
No.
So let's build it into the show that it just happens magically by itself,
It's quite a good
regardless
point,
of what it looks like.
Yeah, quite a good
Yeah.
point. Yeah, I
Yeah,
love the big long dolly track in this opening sequence
Yeah.
as well. They were
Yeah.
really going for it with the cinematic techniques.
Yeah,
Right,
and
from the
a bit of a precursor to the Captain Scarlet titles as
That's
well,
true.
going down the alley and tracking in like that. I think that looks, but it looks so good, and but this is it, and people often will, I think, write For Feather Falls off as, well, it's just a light-hearted children's show. But I've written a whole article on the Security Hazard blog about how it can get quite dark, and that opening shot of it going, with the thunderstorm going, and it's dark and it's quite moody, and there's this mysterious figure standing at the end of the street, and the camera tracks in to find him. It's kind of, I think, quite, like, I wouldn't consider it light-hearted, fluffy children's stuff. Like, it does take it very seriously, I would say. Yeah,
that's true.
But then we get into the episode proper, and the funny thing about this is it actually picks up from the events of a previous episode. Did you know this?
This is a serial.
It is a little bit of a serial. They would occasionally do this in For Feather Falls, not too often, but they would sort of tie certain episodes together. You don't have to have watched the previous episode, but basically, in the episode Dusty Becomes Deputy, the plot involves Pedro and Fernando burning down their shack in order to create a distraction.
Oops.
Basically. So this episode, with an introduction from our storyteller, Grandpa Twink, basically Pedro and Fernando have burnt down their shack, and now they are having to repair it. There's a lovely bit of dialogue about how it was a great plan. It's a shame it didn't work, but it was a great plan. I love all those little exchanges, and Kenneth Connor and David Graham play them so well as Pedro and Fernando.
The voice acting is great. The puppets themselves look really great. Normally, I often have a problem. We've talked before on the show about Venus from Fireball X5, kind of a permanently carved smile. With Pedro has that as well, where he's got a sort of permanent facial expression. But it actually kind of works on him, I guess, because he's more caricatured and less realistic.
Yeah, I think so. But they do occasionally do some clever things with the eyebrows, where they'll change shape in order to. And in that situation, it's great because then you have this fixed grin, but this very sad expression on the top of the face, and it actually kind of goes together really quite well, I think.
Creates a comedic effect. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Very nice.
But yeah, so. Fernando happens to be up on the roof of the shack, and the whole thing collapses, and he somehow finds a box marked deed or Dade, because of course they make fun of the Mexican accent in that.
He's an excellent speller.
Yes,
Very good at English spelling.
Exactly. And they find this treasure map conveniently inside. Honestly, I don't really know how. I don't know where that box actually comes from.
Yeah, we need an origin story for this map. What is it about, and why does it have, this map to this treasure? Does this treasure exist somewhere in town? We wonder.
Well, but this is it. It doesn't. The treasure is gone. It's not there. It's like, I wonder whether someone planted it purely to kind of send Pedro and Fernando on a wild goose chase.
The people of this town are so mean to Pedro and Fernando. They're just they could lock them up or put them to work somewhere, but rather than do that, they're like, well, we'll just continue to let them do their schemes. We'll just toy with them a little bit by planting fake treasure maps and leading them on wild goose chases.
They do deserve it, though. They cause an awful lot of trouble in other episodes.
They do.
Yeah,
they're sort of the village idiots rolled into one.
Yeah, exactly. So moving on a little bit, it's very fun to see the puppets walking 20 paces. Yeah, the whole thing is, it's 20 paces from the hitching post or something like that.
Yeah.
And so you actually see the puppets doing some walking, which obviously in later Super Marination did not happen at all. They would be very keen to avoid that. And in fact, Jerry Anderson often said that his role in sort of as a script supervisor would be to take those things out of people's scripts so that it was possible to film them. But I guess in this, they were just like, yeah, sure, we can have a section of the show which is specifically about walking a certain number of paces.
Yeah, I don't actually... Much has been said about the walking and the puppet walks. Right. I don't actually mind it. I feel like it... I mean,
I think it's great.
You know that they're puppets, and the puppeteers are doing a really great job of creating puppet walks. They're never going to look like human walks.
Yeah,
but they are... They are what they are.
And part of that comes from obviously having much more caricatured figures as well.
The context is important.
There is something like kind of amusing in itself of Pedro with his big round belly and then these tiny little legs going along underneath him. There is something inherently quite amusing about that, and it's supposed to be amusing. And any time he's sort of running away from something and you see his little legs going, I feel like that's always a treat. So
that's a highlight.
Yeah. That's definitely fair enough.
So they've walked their 20 paces.
Yeah, and they realize that the treasure is buried underneath the jailhouse, and so they go, right, well, we need to get in the jailhouse somehow. Which is funny. They have a great sort of relationship. It's one of the fun things. It's what makes them such lovable baddies. Is they have this love-hate relationship with being in jail. Like, there are other episodes where I'm pretty sure they're quite happy to just sit in jail the whole time because they're like, well, we get fed, we've got a roof over our heads. Yeah, let's stick around. Sure, why not?
Wow.
And so this is kind of another one of those things where they're trying desperately to get in there. So, in sort of the next scene, Tex comes riding into town, singing a lovely song, "Happy Hearts and Friendly Faces." What do we think of that song?
Oh well, I'm a sucker for all of these songs. I just love the. Is it Michael Holiday?
Michael Holiday singing it? Yes.
It's slightly confusing for Anderson fans because there's also David Holiday spelled.
I suppose so. Yes. Yeah. You got to get all those names lined up correctly. Yeah. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lovely song. It's a bit shoehorned in this episode. It doesn't necessarily feel like sometimes, in like an episode like First Train Through, the songs tie in with the plot and it all makes perfect sense. Sometimes it's like we've got to stop and sing a song real quick.
Yeah.
And that's the case here.
That is true.
Not unpleasantly so.
No. And it is nice there is some action going on in the sense that they're walking back through the prairie, which, again, I have to say, amazing. It's all done for real. There are no rolling roads. There's no back projection or anything like that. It is literally like, we're going to walk these puppets across this long set and the camera is just going to track along with it. That must have been quite the operation to coordinate all of those parts moving at the same time when they were filming a scene like that.
It's a staggering achievement when you think about it.
Yeah.
It's quite a lot of work.
Particularly because, Rocky, the horse, the puppet would have been on wheels. So obviously they're not actually having to move any legs or anything like that. Sorry to spoil the magic for you, but
darn it.
Whenever the horses were moving, you'll notice you never see their legs, and it's because they're on wheels being moved back and forth. But Dusty, the dog, is walking alongside, and all four legs are moving, and it looks like a reasonably convincing walk, I think, anyway.
Yeah, well, it's quite, it is, we keep coming back to this word, because there's no other word for it, but caricatured. He's like a little cartoon character, and he moves like you would expect a little, a Muppet or some other character like that to move,
Yeah,
it's completely within the bounds of its own reality of a magical talking dog, it makes sense and it works.
Yep. And so as Tex and Rocky and Dusty arrive back in town, Pedro and Fernando are getting ready to do something to get themselves arrested. And the way they figure they're going to do that is send Fernando out into the middle of town with a gun and just start shooting at stuff. And Fernando even says, and I love this. This is one of the things I enjoy about the character, is he's just like, I don't like this. I don't like this. All those times when Fernando is like really not confident in the plan, it's just wonderful. You need to have that unwilling accomplice there. That's where the comedy lies, I think.
Absolutely.
So that's really good fun. Yeah.
It's a lovely
So anyway, needless to say, everyone in town is a bit kind of like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's quite dangerous what he does. He starts blasting away, shooting out windows, including one that this old lady is cleaning.
Yeah. Mar Jones cleaning her windows and gets, I mean, the number of times her store probably gets shot at over the course of the series is probably quite significant. But yes, so they go through and basically Fernando is sort of like, I guess you need to arrest me now. And Tex is like, actually, I'm going to shoot at your feet instead and make you dance. Which is, of course, all good fun.
This is a common trope in Western movies.
Yes.
Shooting at someone's feet to make them dance is a trope.
Yeah.
I don't know if that originates from a real life story or if that's just something that was made up in the annals of Western fiction, but
I don't know.
You
it's a good way.
It an awful lot.
It's a good way to get some gun shooting action into it, but in a perfectly innocent way. Nobody has to die or anything like that during that moment.
It feels like a rodeo trick for sure.
Yeah, exactly. But Pedro is not happy because it would appear that Fernando is not getting arrested. And so Tex decides basically, all right, I'll arrest you instead.
It's nice to be the sheriff.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice to sheriff. One thing that I'll mention briefly before we move on from that scene, did you notice the guns firing effects?
Yes.
The way that they fire. So they don't, in these early days, they weren't firing real charges from the guns, the puppet scale guns. They were animating them in post-production.
Yes.
I assume using cell animation or maybe drawing directly onto the film. Do you know?
They were. I believe the story. John Reed was responsible for that, and he was drawing onto the film itself.
Extraordinary.
I think he says it was like 2 frames. He would always draw a gun flash on for 2 frames, and then and I think it works. I think it's pretty effective.
It works great. Yeah. It's a remarkable effect. It works very well.
Yeah, well, you can imagine it was probably the quickest, because there are so many shots of guns being fired in the show. It probably was like, we need maybe on the budget they were like, we just need to kind of do this quite quickly. So that was probably the simplest way of doing it. Yeah.
And so when would Derek Meddings have come on board? Would he have already been backgrounds and things at this point?
I think Derek Meddings was already around, sort of, working part-time, doing background stuff. He came on full-time for the second series of Supercar.
Gotcha.
And at that point, you really notice an improvement. Suddenly, a lot more stuff is blowing up. There are a lot more physical model sets being used and things like that. But yes, at the time in Four Feather Falls, there are still many, many different sort of explosions that happen over the course of the series, but they're not as consistent. They don't come up as often. That's for sure. Yeah.
Brilliant.
So essentially, I'm kind of fast forwarding and simplifying it down a little bit, but Pedro is therefore the one who has to dig up the floor of the jailhouse. And he is not happy about it. It's very, very relatable as he's there sweating away.
Yeah.
Unhappily digging.
Yeah, Yeah, I
while
remember the
Fernando
last
is
time
stuck
I was
outside.
in jail, forced to dig
Yeah,
up the floor. That was a
yeah,
dark time in my life.
yeah.
I
Well,
feel your pain.
you came.
bro.
Did you come out of it stronger?
Certainly poorer.
Poorer. Yeah. Well, you have much in common with Pedro then, because
do.
indeed he's digging away. At which point Fernando gets bored and basically falls asleep outside the window.
It's delightful.
Pedro's digging and digging and digging away. Meanwhile, we go over to the saloon, and everyone's in there having a conversation, having a nice time, and Marvin Jackson announces, as I kind of mentioned earlier, that the strong room is currently inaccessible, and there's all this talk about, oh, we got to send over to Silver City to get the locksmith. Silver City, of course, is a town that was mentioned in previous episodes, so it's all world building. It's all lovely, good stuff that I really appreciate. Those little details being consistent across all the different episodes. And basically that kind of gets left for a little bit, and then they realize what I'm sorry, I skipped a whole section there where towards the beginning of the episode, Tex Tucker is asleep in bed, and Dusty is the one who overhears Pedro and Fernando talking about the treasure. And it's at that point that they go, well, the jailhouse needs a new floor anyway, so sure, why not? Now, I don't know why it would need a new floor necessarily. That's quite an oddly specific bit of DIY that needs doing there, I guess.
It is. I have many questions about the floor of the jail. Why that needs replacing. Why can't it just be a dirt floor? Ordinarily, they wouldn't be able to dig themselves out. What kind of floor are you putting in? Are you going to make Pedro, lay the floorboards? It just, I have so many questions.
Yeah, it's a little bit. You can't think about it too hard necessarily. That's the good thing about the episode is it moves. If it moves by it so quickly, you just go, "Oh, okay, fine, yeah, that
it just
that
rattles along at a nice pace, and that's good enough for me."
Yeah. So they sort of realize what's going on. Pedro finally strikes gold, but it's conveniently packaged in. Well, this is the odd thing. Pedro doesn't realize that the gold is coming from the bank, which I don't get. Surely he would realize he was in the strong room.
Yeah, he thinks he's dug up the treasure, but actually he's just dug his way into the strong room.
Yes.
It's a funny sequence. Yeah. It's interesting how much stuff is foreshadowed in stuff that would come later is foreshadowed in Four Feather Falls. Like this kind of reminds me a little bit of Vault of Death, a Thunderbirds episode from much later. where there's even a comedy scene where someone breaks into the vault, kind of sort of accidentally at the wrong time, played for comedy. So it has some of that same energy, only much earlier.
Yeah,
but
it's sweet. It's so innocent and just it's good fun. It's good fun.
It's just good fun.
Yeah, and we get some lovely live action hand inserts.
Yes.
Very early on in sort of Super Mario Nation. I think people often think that started much later, but it didn't. They started using live action hand inserts in Four Feather Falls to great effect, I think. As the gold is being passed out of the window, and at first you don't see who Pedro is handing it to. It's only when they cut back to the wide shot and you see it's Tex Tucker holding the gold instead of Fernando.
This is a lovely reveal.
So it's all very nicely done. Very nicely done. Yeah. Essentially, Marvin Jackson, very, very grateful to have all the gold out of his strong room so that he can take it to those cowboys and go and pay them. And
I just can't believe it. Can't believe that Marvin Jackson was so negligent as to break his key.
Or at least not to have a spare key.
Yeah. You would
have thought
questions.
That would be quite important there. But I love the way that ends with Jackson being like, "Oh, all right, Pedro, as a reward, I'll buy you a new hat and Fernando, I'll buy you some cigars, and it's lovely because obviously the running gag with Pedro at least is he loves his hats. He's very fond of his hats. He always wants to look like a smart, sophisticated man about town with his nice hat on. And in this situation, he's like, no, I don't want a hat. I want my gold. Give me my gold.
It's really lovely. It sounds, as we're sitting here talking about it, it sounds a bit mean spirited that they're just playing this big prank on Pedro and Fernando. But in the context of the show at large and everything that Pedro and Fernando do, it plays out really quite gentle and kind and funny.
It is.
It could be, a show like Four Feather Falls is always capable of being accused of racial stereotyping and all sorts of negative stuff. And it's clearly not the intention, even though some of those tropes, you wouldn't necessarily do that today.
Right.
But it's clearly not the intention of the filmmakers to harm or make fun of anyone more than they deserve through their actions.
Exactly that. I think the context of those stories is really important. I would also say that they are borrowing pre-existing stereotypes. It's not like the makers of Four Feather Falls were really coming up with these gags. They weren't original jokes by any means.
No, that's true.
So they're just they're first and foremost they're trying to make a good Western, for better or worse. That's what they're doing. But as you say, the jokes don't necessarily feel too mean spirited.
No.
But as you say, probably would be done that way today. But that's an important thing to consider when you're watching the show for sure. But there we go. Pedro's upset, but he's in jail already, so he's kind of the thing about you talk about them just maybe being a bit mean to Pedro. It's like, well, they're not really doing anything to actively provoke him. They're just letting him get on with his own stupid mistake. Basically, they're just letting him get on with it. Nobody's turning around to say, "Hey, stop! You're digging up the wrong hole" or something like that. It's all his own fault. So he gets what's coming to him, essentially, at the end of that.
True.
Yeah. So I think it's kind of all fair enough.
It plays very much like it plays very much like an episode of Supercar I watched recently called Hijack. Or Hijacked.
Appropriately enough, yeah.
Yeah. Just Hijack. The Joe 90 episode that's hijacked.
Yep.
It has that same kind of energy where in that episode there's a dictator in the land of fantasy who has a plot to steal an expensive jet airliner from a Western country, and his scheme sort of tumbles in on him in the same way Pedro's scheme tumbles in on him. It's that same sort of energy that they would use for Ali Kali and Stingray and Master Spy in Supercar more broadly.
Yes. It's always about using the villain's own stupidity against them, basically. Those are always kind of the very satisfying and comedic ways of kind of going about resolving those plots. So I think it's all very good, very nice indeed.
It's the hood
ties up
failing
very
to notice
nicely.
the hood failing to notice the barricade that the bridge is out, or that he's about to drive over.
That sort of stuff. It's always fun. It's always
fun.
Perfectly good fun. Yeah. Anything else about this particular episode that stood out to you, Ben, that we haven't covered?
No, I think I've covered everything that springs to mind. I'm really grateful that you picked this and that we got a chance to watch it, because any excuse to actually sit down and watch Four Feather Falls is a real treat. I wish I'd had this show around to watch when I was a child, because I loved Westerns. I loved The Lone Ranger and Gunsmoke and all of those. So Four Feather Falls would have fit perfectly into that crop of things.
Absolutely.
Just perfect. So
yeah,
it's great to be able to watch it now.
Exactly, and we've had some viewer comments. I asked on social media for people to let us know what they think of Four Feather Falls, just because I was curious actually to see how many people have actually watched it and what did they make of it in the grand scheme of all the other Jerry Anderson shows. And we've had some lovely comments from everyone. Nick James Thorne says, great performances all round. Good to see that the AP Films team and Jerry did something other than sci-fi back in the early days as well. Just wish this was on ITVX. Yes, we'd love to see more Four Feather Falls out there. Philip Cully says, I love it. It's a lot more primitive than the Super Mario Nation series, but it's a clear jump from the Roberta Lee shows. Even the songs, which could have been grating, are delightful.
They are delightful.
X06 Future Spy says, I put off watching this for years because of the singing and the goofy concept of talking animals. This was a mistake. Those elements aren't the focus. The show is actually a very entertaining Western series. Some of the stories could easily be rewritten for an adult rather than kids show. One of my favorite Anderson series. Harry Blythe says, I consider this the first proper Super Mario Nation show. Love it. Let's see here. Trying to go through a few. We honestly had so many comments. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to read all of them. But I wanted to get to one that we had on YouTube from Adam Luff, who says, as much as I enjoy Four Feather Falls, the episodes can be a bit samey, possibly due to reusing the same villains so many times. Nevertheless, it's a charming show from an innocent time in the Anderson canon before things really took off. Favorite episode is A Bad Name. Least favorites are Bandits Abroad and The Ma Jones Story. And of that same regard, and what I want to sort of end on is Penguin Made of Dynamite commented saying he hasn't ever seen it, doesn't know anything about it, and could we recommend some episodes to get started on? Which I think is a good little question to bring up. Ben, are there any that you particularly think of as standout episodes?
Well, I like to start at the beginning, because it has a nice kind of origin story. It explains the setting and the world. I think that's called How It Began.
How It Began, first episode. Yes, definitely. I would start there.
That's a good one to start with.
Yeah, that's a good one. If you're maybe put off by it being in black and white, I would try and find the episode First Train Through in color. I believe that Blu-ray is still available from the Jerry Anderson store, super colorization. You can take a look at that. But even not in color, First Train Through is a fantastic episode because it's got trains in it. And it's got some good action and stuff. I think that's the thing that people underestimate about Four Feather Falls is it's got a lot of action sequences in it. That are actually really well pulled off and really well done. And as I say, the world building is so rich as well. So yeah, First Train Through will be another recommendation. Ride 'em Cowboy is also a fun one. Gold Diggers, I think we've kind of summed it up quite well. It's a good bit of fun as well. I also like another good one, Trouble in Yellow Gulch. It's good fun. Ben, any other recommendations that you can think of from the show?
Gunfight on Main Street is one that springs to mind. What's the one with where they're ghosts? They dress
Ghost of a Chance or Chance of a Ghost. Yeah, that's a really fun one.
I watched that one recently. Love that. But there's still quite a bit of Four Feather Falls that I've never seen, so I have a lot of catching up to do.
Well, we need to make a change to that, and maybe our next segment will help to encourage that, or it will extinguish your love of Four Feather Falls altogether, Ben.
Wait a minute. What's happening?
Well,
what's going on?
I'm taking over the show. I'm taking it over.
Hey, wait. What's happening? Wait.
Oh, hi there, Jack. Nice to hear from you. Oh, everything's fine, Jack.
What's all this Jack business?
Ben, I have taken over. I have seized control. You know nothing about what's coming next. Is that correct?
Nothing at all. Well,
I've given you a few little prompts.
Yes. You gave me a vague idea of. Well, should I go ahead and reveal what you
Yeah. What do you know about what's coming up?
Right. Well, you told me to get my Four Feather Falls map, which normally hangs behind me.
Right.
I pulled that down from the wall. It's, I believe, the only example of its kind out in the wild. Although you can buy this if you go to securityhazard.net. You can find a link there to Jack's Redbubble, where you can purchase your own copy of this. And he does a detailed YouTube video here on Security Hazard explaining how he created this and the rationale behind it, the world building. So you can see the actual town of Four Feather Falls, where it was located, what the geography was. I treasure this map. So I have that.
Good to know that you treasure it. Good choice of words. Good choice
Thank
of
you.
words.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I have the dice rolling app on my phone.
Okay.
To bring that for some reason. I don't know why. And then I have some pen and paper just to make some notes.
All right.
So I have a funny feeling I'm going on an adventure, Jack.
You are going on an adventure. Let's reveal what I have in store for you up on screen now. We are playing a game, Ben. We are playing a big old game called Big Ben's Treasure Hunt, a Four Feather Falls game. Yes.
Wow.
We are going to take your map and we are going to turn it into a treasure map.
Oh my goodness. Treasure.
Yeah.
I never would have guessed.
I'm
starting to feel a little bit sensitive about all this Big Ben business.
You don't like it? It's better than being Little Ben, surely.
True. Carry on.
I have some rules for the game to read out to you. Let me know if any of it makes sense, although I'm sure all of it will kind of come out as we're playing along. So, you are Big Ben. Your goal is to locate the hidden gold that is buried at one of the 29 marked locations on the Four Feather Falls map. You have one guess at the hidden gold's location. If you guess incorrectly, you lose the game. If you guess correctly, you win. Your co-conspirators, Pedro and Fernando, know where the gold is, but they aren't feeling too helpful today. But they can be bribed with money. You can buy clues from them to help narrow down your search. Pedro and Fernando's clues cost $50 each.
Okay.
You can earn money by successfully completing challenges at each location on the map. To travel between locations, you must roll a die and move along any of the marked paths by that number of locations in any direction. Okay. You may start the game at any location of your choosing. When you arrive at a new location, you will hear that location's challenge. Once you hear a challenge, you can either attempt it or veto it. If you choose to veto a challenge or fail to successfully complete a challenge, you will receive nothing, and you will not be able to attempt that challenge again for the rest of the game. You are allowed to visit the same location multiple times if that is where your dice roll takes you. Challenges can pay out either $15, $30, or $45. Whenever you feel ready to make a guess at the hidden gold's location, you must roll your die, move to that location, and confidently announce that you have found the buried treasure.
Wow.
Right.
This is intense.
Any questions on that, or do you just sort of want to get started?
I think you better just throw me in and see how I do.
So, here is the map.
Okay.
Where do you want to start? You can start from any location.
All right.
That will be your first challenge.
This is like one of those old like point and click adventure games.
A little bit.
Kind of getting Oregon Trail vibes. Let's see. So location-wise, it's any of the 22.
So 22 plus the 7 ranchers that are on there as well.
Right. Okay. Because of the episode that I just watched,
right,
I am going to start at the jail or the sheriff's office.
Sheriff's office number 12. So, Tex Tucker originates from which U.S. state? Is it A, Kansas, B, Texas, or C, Missouri?
Well, I haven't watched that much Four Feather Falls.
Now, I will just say I have tested this game only once, And it was with my wife, Catherine, who has also basically never seen Four Feather Falls except for one episode, which we did on our earlier podcast. So she managed to solve it. So
Okay. All right. Well,
that's, right now, what is the answer to that question?
that gives me some hope. I'm going to say Texas. That he comes from Texas.
That is correct. You get $15.
Yay.
All right.
I
Time
finally
to
have some
roll
fun.
your dice. You're currently at position number 12 on the map. Roll your
Right.
dice and let's see where you go next.
Okay, here I go. It's just a single 6-sided die, yes?
Yep, that's fine.
I rolled a 1.
Okay, well that gives you a few options. You could head to the stables. You could head to Twink's house.
I'm gonna go to the stables.
All right.
Twink's house scares me.
Which actor provided the voice of Tex Tucker's horse Rocky? Is it A. Kenneth Connor, B. Nicholas Parsons, or C. David Graham?
Hello, old chap. Is it Kenneth Connor?
It is indeed Kenneth Connor. You get
That's my
$15. Currently have a total of 30.
Wow.
All right.
I'm rich.
Let's roll again. Let's see where you go next.
All right, roll again. I got a 2. A 2.
Oh, wow. You're rolling really great right now.
I'm rolling big numbers.
All
So
right.
I'm
Where do you
going
want to
to
head
go to, let's see, I'm at the stables. So if I can head to, well, I guess I'll go back to Twink's house.
All right. He's going to Twink's house. What is Grandpa Twink's first name? Is it A. Ebenezer, B. Edward, or C. Ernest?
Dag nabbit. I don't know that. Am I allowed to look at the chat? Can I see if people are shouting?
No, actually, you're not allowed to look at the chat. I think this is one of those situations where you're not allowed to look at the chat.
Fine.
People will be able to tell if you wait long enough. You'll be waiting for those answers to come along.
I'm gonna quit stalling and say Ebenezer. That's a complete guess.
Ebenezer is correct. Well done. You are now at a total of $15. Oh no, you got $15 from that. You're at a total of $45.
Yeah,
Remember,
thank
clues cost $50 each.
Rolling
right, where are you going from
again.
Twink's house?
I just rolled a 1 because I'm a big roller.
You are really not rolling well.
Can I go over to the railroad station?
The Canyon Railroad. Yes, of course.
I'm gonna spread my wings.
Complete the following lyrics from the Ricka Ricka Rackety train. Far away in blank blank, in good old Western times, they built a tiny railroad that ran down from the mines. Now, if you look at your map, it might help you figure this one out. Maybe?
I can hear it in my head, but I...
Right. He's got the tune, that's for sure.
Is it something to do with Kansas? Far away in...
I just need your correct guess.
I know. And remind me, how does the veto thing work? Like if I don't know the answer?
Just say you don't know the answer and you give up.
All right.
But on this one, I would say just give it a go.
Right.
If the outcome is the same either way, you might get it.
Yeah. Far
Any
away
ideas?
in old... I don't know. I feel like it's Kansas.
Far away in old Kansas, is that your final answer?
I don't think that's right, but I don't know.
It's not correct. It's not
Okay, that's fine.
correct. It is far away in the mountains in good old Western times. They built a tiny
Far away
railroad
in
that
the
ran
mountains.
down from the mines. Yes, of course.
It's not how
So-
it plays in my head, but okay.
Well, there you go. But you get nothing there, I'm afraid.
Yeah, that's...
So, where to next from the Canyon Railroad?
Oh, to recover from that scalding defeat, I will roll the dice again. I got a 3.
Ooh.
I could finally spread my wings and go as far as
As long as you're following a trail, you can basically go anywhere you want, and you're in a pretty good position to go. You could go back into town. You could head up north. Do all sorts of things.
the Yellow Gulch Hills.
All right. So what do you want to go to? Oh no, that would be way too far. Oh no, I guess you could cut through there. Yeah. Do you want to go all the way to Red Scalp's camp?
Sure. Let's take Red
All
Scouts.
right. Through Dead Man's Gulch, down Redstone Pass to Red Scalp's camp. Name 3 red things from any of Jerry Anderson's television series. You have 30 seconds. Your time starts now. I am running
Spectrum
a timer over
Saloon
here.
Car. Thunderbird 3, sort of red. Captain Scarlet's
take that.
uniform.
There we go. Perfect. Well done. You get $15 from that.
This is incredibly stressful.
Oh, it's going to get worse.
What?
I think so. I think it's going to get worse. So that means you currently have $60. You actually do have enough to buy a clue. Do you want to do that, or do you want to keep saving up?
I think I will buy a clue. Are Pedro and
Okay.
Fernando following me around? Are they with me right now?
Yeah, sure. They're following you around.
Are they in the
Let's
room?
say that. It's not like you can call them up, I suppose. So yes.
Yeah.
Right. So here's how this works. You basically just want to pick a number between 1 and 18.
I will go with lucky number 13, please. Thank you.
Number 13. Okay.
I hope you all are playing along
Nobody.
at home.
Actually, I hope they are. Nobody lives at the Gold's location.
Nobody lives there.
Okay. So the thing I would do is you want to make a note of that clue. And even if you don't know, if you can't confidently strike anything off the map, just keep that one in the back of your mind because it may come in useful later.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I have to do the math and remember how much money you have at any given time. So I think
I'm
you're
doing the
now
math
down
as
to.
well.
Oh, that's good. So I think you're
I've
now
got-
down to $10.
I am back down to my last $10, not for the first time and
Okay.
not for the last.
Alrighty. Well, time to roll your die and move along.
I got a 5.
Okay.
So, is there anything more further west? I think I've gone as far out west as I can.
You've gone as far west as you can. Yeah.
You know, so I'll head to the south
All right.
to Joe Lucky Chance's ranch. Can I get that far?
Okay.
1,
Let's see.
2,
1,
3.
2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, you can. All
Great.
right. So we're at D. Joe Lucky Chance's ranch. Roll a 6 on your die within 6 attempts. Now
right.
this pays out big money, $45. So
This
Good
would have
luck.
been better if I had like actual die here.
Yeah.
So that you could have some accountability, but I'm going to attempt to show that I'm not, in fact, cheating.
all right.
Can you see it? All right.
I actually can't see. You're gonna have to tell me what you roll out
All right, here we go.
and tell our listeners. As well.
I got a 4,
Okay, that's not
3.
6. 3.
Oh, I got a 6. It says
You got a
4 now,
6.
but
You did
I had
it.
a 6 before.
All right. $45 is yours.
That is a lot of sum.
Yeah, that brings you to a total of $55, so enough to afford another clue.
You know I'm going to
wanted.
take the clue.
All right, he's taking the clue. Right, you've had 13. All the other clues are open to you.
There are so many clues. I'll take 7, please.
The gold is east of the general store.
The gold is
Gold
east
is
of the general
east of the
store.
general store. That should help you really narrow down some a few things on the map.
It should, especially since I know nobody lives there.
Yes,
Gold
exactly.
East of the general store. And my balance
It's
is
$5.
back down to $5. I'm back down to my last $5. Not for the last time.
Well,
All
I'm
right,
sure you're going
so-
to earn more nice and quickly.
I'm just gonna take a look here and see if I can spot I'm looking at my large scale map to see where the general store is, and it's east of that, so that eliminates quite a bit. Can I have a moment here just to kind of...
Yes, of course. So
compile my
general
thoughts?
store is position number 9 on the map. And, you know, for people who don't know, it's sort of positioned right in the middle of Main Street. On the north side of Main Street. And, wow. There's quite a few things to the east. But basically, we're taking it as if you drew a line right down the middle of the map. The gold is located somewhere on the east side of that line.
Yep.
Which means you're ruling out things like Red Scalp's camp, the livery, the telegraph office. I would say about half of the ranches are also gone. That's a really good clue. That's helping you to rule out quite a few things.
It is a really good clue.
So generous.
Yes.
So generous.
This was a very kind thing for you to do.
I think so. Well, you're the one who chose it. You're lucky picking of those clues, I would say.
No, I meant this whole game was nice of you to
good.
arrange.
I'm glad you think so.
What effort you've gone to ruin my Wednesday night.
Yeah, really absolutely. Oh, it gets so much worse.
Oh, great.
It really does.
All right.
Gives you something to think
I gotta
on.
roll on.
Yeah. So we're at D right now. You're almost as far south as you can possibly go on the map.
I've rolled a 1.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go from D to G.
D to G. Okay.
Farthest south point, I believe.
You are at Zeke Smith's ranch. In the Four Feather Falls episode, Bandits Abroad, who is seen returning from an enjoyable evening at Zeke's ranch? Was it A, Dan Morse and Marvin Jackson, B, Pedro and Fernando, or C, Grandpa Twink and Mar Jones? And this is for $30.
I have no idea. I have never seen Bandits Abroad. I am going to go.
It was one of Adam Luff's least favorite episodes, if I remember from that comment. So,
thank you, Adam.
Yeah,
I will say A, Dan Morse and Marvin Jackson.
That is correct. You got it.
Wow,
very nice. Well done.
How did I know?
$30 is yours.
Thank you very much. Oh, I should roll again.
Where do you want to go from here?
Boy, this is great. The only thing that would make this better is a talking horse. I rolled a 6, so
amazing.
I'm gonna head back into town.
Okay.
I think that'll take me as far as Doc Haggerty's office.
Sure. Yep, I'll let you have that. Doc Haggerty's office. Name 5 doctors of medicine from any of Jerry Anderson's television series. You have 30 seconds and your time starts now.
Dr. Fawn, Dr. Venus, and Dr. Russell.
That's 3. You need 5.
Oh, 5. Oh, God.
18 seconds.
Hold on. Dr. Neinstein? No, Dr.
Not
Killjoy.
a doctor of medicine. Dr. Killjoy counts. Yep.
Yeah. Hold on.
One more.
I can't think. My brain.
2 seconds. 1.
Doc-
0.
Doc-
Sorry, you're out of time.
I ran out of time.
You could have had Dr. Gold from New Captain Scarlet. You could have had Doc from Stingray.
Or Doc Haggerty, where I literally am.
Or you could have had Doc Haggerty. He was right in front of you.
This is shameful.
No,
Ridiculous.
sadly, you get nothing for that, I'm afraid.
Well, that's a shame. I'll roll again and try my luck elsewhere.
All right, so you're currently at 15.
How did your wife do on the name 5 Jerry Anderson doctors?
I think she vetoed that particular challenge.
Right. Smart lady. Rolling again, I got a 4.
Okay.
I'm gonna stay in town, I guess.
Yeah.
Where have I not been? I've not been to the saloon and hotel.
Alrighty. What is the last name of the saloon and hotel manager, Slim Jim? Is it A, Dennison, B, Denton, or C, Denley?
I'm gonna go with B, Denton.
That is incorrect.
Dun dun dun.
It is in fact A, Dennison.
Well,
Written
phooey.
on one of the windows, I believe.
Fair enough.
Yeah. All right. No
Rolling
luck there.
again.
You're still on $35.
Uh-huh. Ba-doop-ba-doop-ba-doo. I'm gonna go to Madison and Co. livery. Please and thank
Alrighty. Name a famous person with the first or last name Madison. They can be living or dead, but you must be able to say why they are famous. You have 30 seconds. Your time starts now.
James Madison, and he was president of the United States.
There we go. Beautifully done. So neatly done. Would you be surprised if my American wife did not know anyone called Madison, including James Madison, the president?
Well, I'm assuming he died quite a bit before her time, so
Yeah,
that's
probably died quite a bit before your time as well, but you're brushed up on your history.
Well, perhaps, but not really.
Yeah, very nicely done. You get $15 from that, which I believe takes you back up to $50. So
It
that's
does,
the
and I'm
perfect
gonna-
amount for a clue.
I would love another clue to get me out of this
Alrighty.
a little bit faster.
Mhm.
I'm gonna go with lucky number 3.
Number 3. The gold is not located on the north side of Main Street.
Does that mean anywhere north of Main Street?
No, the north side of Main Street.
Okay.
So if we go and take a look at the map, that would eliminate, in my reading of it, number 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13.
Brilliant.
What number clue was that you just chose?
3.
3. Okay. I'm trying to keep note of what you have and haven't used. So,
Right. That brings me down to
okay.
$0.
$0.
This must be enthralling listening. If you're listening,
I
to this
hope
right
so. I really hope so.
How are you? How are you keeping up with this? Are you looking at a map as I play this game?
Yeah, well, what I'm sharing my screen with you, so all the video watchers are seeing it. But I would recommend,
Listeners.
yeah, go and take a look at the map. But yes,
Imagine you
Right.
you download a bunch of podcasts for your road trip, and it's just someone trying to describe a map of Four Feather Falls, Kansas.
hey, only here on the Security Hazard Show.
It's,
do
it's
you
a one of
get
a kind.
amazing content like that.
Where am I anyway?
You are currently at Madison and Co. livery number 7 on the map.
Oh, of course I am. Well, I rolled a 1, so I'm going to go over to the telegraph office.
Oh boy. Correctly decipher this Morse code message. You may look up a Morse code guide. You have 2 minutes. Your time starts now. So for the audio listeners, what we have is dash dot 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 dash dot 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 dash dash dot dash dash. Ben, do you know your Morse code?
No.
No. Good thing I let you look it up then.
Rubbish at Morse code.
Oh dear.
This, hold on.
This is really compelling stuff. Will he make it? Will he decipher it in time?
Is it Dusty?
It is Dusty. Well
Woo!
done. Very good. Very good. Nicely done. You needed hardly any of that time. You're very quick. Well done.
Now that I've had a heart attack,
Yeah.
I will roll the
All
dice
right.
again.
Okay, back to the map.
Lord,
Let's
this is-
take a look.
This is intense. You don't mess around when you hijack.
No, I don't. I am well and truly hijacking this show, for better or worse.
Right. Okay. I rolled a 2,
Okay.
and I was in the telegraph office. So I'm going to go to the. Have I been to the stables yet?
Yes, you have been to the stables.
So let me go across the street because I've not been over
Okay.
there at all. And I will take the Makuya's Garden.
Makuya's Garden. All right. Find a living plant. You have 1 minute. Your time starts now.
You mean in this room?
Anywhere. Find me a living plant. Bring it back.
Oh. Well, this is a it's alive. It's not blooming. It's a bulb of a hyacinth, I think. Does it count, or do I need another?
No. That's a living plant, and you happen to have it right next to you. That is very lucky.
My wife is the plant lady. We have a lot of plants.
Yeah, I figured you might get that one fairly easily. Wow, you are rolling in money now. You have got $90 to your name.
I know. It's so fabulous. I'm gonna try not to spend it all in one place. I'm
There's
gonna
only one
bribe.
place you can spend it.
I'm gonna bribe those ne'er-do-wells again.
Okay.
Let's call clue 11, please.
Clue 11. Little Jake has visited the Gold's location in the For Feather Falls television series.
Well, that helps me not
That
at all.
doesn't help you very much, does it? Oh dear.
Little Jake has.
It
been
might.
there.
I keep it in the back of your mind. Keep it in the back of your mind. It could be useful for something.
Okay. All right.
Alright. Where to
Not
next?
on the north side of Main Street. What's the last one? Roll. That's a 3. I'll go to the bank.
He's off to the bank.
Take me to the bank.
Find some actual money. You have 1 minute. Your time starts now.
Good lord. Good lord.
I'm making him get up. I'm making him go and do stuff. It's been a long time coming, actually. He's managed to get away with not having to get up and not have to do anything for quite a while. But boy, oh boy, there's some challenges in here that will require that. I don't think he's going to be happy with me, everyone. He's been away for quite some time. He's got 36 seconds left. I can see him starting to come back on camera. He's come back. He's showing me some money. What
This
what
is
amount
a
of money is that?
this pence. I found a pence.
A single penny. Well, that's all you need to buy your way to $45 sweet of in-game
Talk
money.
about a return on investment.
Very nice indeed. Well done. Very well played.
Ooh.
And well within the time as well. So, your balance is immediately back up to, I make it $85.
That is what I have too.
All right.
I am going to
spend
buy
some of
another
that?
clue.
Alrighty. What clue do you want this time?
I should have just gone in order. I'm going to do number 1.
Number 1. The gold is not at an odd numbered location.
Oh man. That eliminates so much.
That does
Oh,
eliminate
man.
quite a few.
All right. I know it's east of the general store.
Yes.
All right. East of the general store. It's not a place where people live, and it's not an odd numbered thing, so it's probably not. It's not odd numbered.
Not odd numbered, which basically means it's even numbered, or it's at one of the ranches, which are done with letters rather than numbers.
But it's not one of the ranches, is it? Even
Could it be one of the ranches?
they're casting doubt and aspersions.
Could it be? Well, I don't know. Little
Yeah.
Jake has been to visit there, so
I don't know the words to the song.
run through your clues one more time. What have you got so far?
It's not on the north side of Main Street.
Right.
Which I don't think you were including the stables.
No, I'll include the stables in that. I'll be nice. I'll say
Well,
that
it doesn't
includes the
matter because
stables.
it's even numbered, so the stables are numbered
Well,
11.
exactly. Yeah.
So very generous of you to tell me what I already know.
Good.
Nobody lives there.
Nobody lives there.
The Eureka Silver Mine is the front runner. It's
Eureka Silver Mine, yeah.
east of the general store. Little Jake has been there, and it is even numbered.
Or one of the ranches.
So it's not Eureka Silver Mine, is it? It's Asher's.
Yeah, it can't be.
Other.
Asher's Gold Mine is a contender, certainly. Yes.
Yeah,
Canyon Railroad, I believe, would still be a contender as well.
Sure.
And then you've got, let's see, you've got Morg Fenton's ranch, I believe, is still in play. Abe Weeks' ranch is still in play. Zeke Smith's ranch would still be in play. And the abandoned caves would still be in play. You've definitely narrowed it down.
Yeah.
But I think you're going to need more clues, Ben, which means I think you're going to need more money, which means I think you need to do more challenges.
Right. So I've just spent 50, so I have 35.
Yes.
I will roll again.
All right. Where were you at?
I got a 5. I was at the bank because I needed money.
Yep.
Sort of inclined to head back out there.
Mm-hmm.
Can I do less than the number if I roll a high number, or do I have to do an exact figure?
See, this is the thing. When I tested it with Catherine, actually, yesterday, I said you could do any number up to that amount, and what she ended up doing was just going along one by one to each location.
That's because
clever. Catherine
is sensible.
She's sensible. However, I think you've now reached a point where you've done so many of the challenges that it really doesn't matter. So yes, you can. I would say now, yes, you can go to just up to that amount if you have.
I am curious about the Medicine Man's Magic Water Spring.
Okay. I think you can go there.
Did I just step on a bomb?
No. Drink water. You have 1 minute and your time starts now. Does he have water with him? He has water with him. Or at least it resembles water. It could be vodka.
Yeah. No comment.
That's what he needs to get through it. Well, congratulations. You drank your water. You get $30. And that puts you at $65 total, which means you have enough money for another clue.
You know I want another clue.
You love those clues. You are just eating up all those clues.
I sure am.
What do you want next?
I'll do 18.
18. If you turn towards Kells Creek to find the treasure, you've gone the wrong way.
Oh boy.
Don't know how helpful that is for you. I think that does eliminate some options, actually. So Kells Creek is at the very bottom of the map, down in the south.
Where I am.
And there are a few ranches that take that particular path. So you can rule out some of those.
If you turn left from Kells Creek?
So I would say my interpretation of the map is that rules out Lucky Chance's ranch. It rules out Morg Fenton's. Well, yeah, I would say that rules out Morg Fenton's ranch. I've kind of given it away now that it's not there. It rules out Buck Wheatley's ranch. It rules out Zeke Smith's ranch. And you now have $15 left in the bank.
Oh, of course I do. Back down to my last 15 pesos.
Afraid so.
Right, well, I guess I'll keep rolling.
All right.
I have a guess.
Medicine Man's
I have a guess.
You have a guess.
I'm not sure I want to make it yet.
You want to be confident. I appreciate that. It's
real dicey.
Mm-hmm. Well, speaking of dice, where are you heading next?
I am off to Buck Wheatley. See Buck Wheatley.
Buck Wheatley's ranch. Which of these is not a common ingredient in ranch salad dressing? Is it A, mayonnaise, B, garlic, or C, celery?
I'm going to go with celery.
That is correct.
Hey.
Do you like ranch dressing particularly, Ben?
I don't like it particularly.
Okay.
I like it.
But you roughly know its constituent ingredients.
I've made it before.
He's made it. Wow.
Made ranch dressing before.
Very impressive.
Not very well, I have to say. It was very a runny mess, but I did make
Oh
it.
dear.
Roll again.
Yeah.
Because I do not have enough to buy a clue. I rolled a 6. But I'm not going to go that far. I'm just going to head down to Lucky Chance
Okay.
and hope that it is my lucky day.
You've already did that one.
Have I done that one already?
You've done that one. Yeah.
Oh, that's right, because I came down here and did the south. So I'll go up to the
Yeah.
north and do is it Buffalo Carson's place?
You can certainly do that. Yes. True or false? The Four Feather Falls episode, Buffalo Rocky, is the only episode not to feature a song performed by Tex, Rocky, or Dusty.
I think that's true.
It's false.
Oh.
There are actually a few episodes where there is no song whatsoever.
Yeah.
And Buffalo Rocky, I believe, has Phantom Rider in it. Which
Brilliant.
Is sort of fairly appropriate. So I'm afraid you get nothing for that. Your total is still
right.
$45. So
I am-
we need a few more challenges to get another clue.
Undeterred, I am going to go to Samberg's place.
Samberg, which is A. Draw a recognizable cow. You have 30 seconds. Your time starts now.
Recognizable cow?
I have to be able to look at the image and say, yes, that's a cow.
I mean, how much detail do you need for it to be a recognizable cow?
I mean, what would be the distinctive qualities of a cow? we want to see. I think we've got to see 4 legs.
This is a great podcast.
Three would be too few. 5 would be too many. So we've got to have the right number of legs.
I think that would be
would say-
utterly ridiculous. to have that.
You're out of time. Show me your cow.
Oh, sorry.
Well, I think we can allow that. That's actually a very good cow. That's a very good cow. I'm gonna give you that.
I feel like
$30 for you.
I feel like your tone about that changed.
I couldn't draw a cow that good. Let's put it that way.
I feel like your initial reaction was like, "That's not the cow you were looking for."
No. Any cow is allowed.
Well,
Yeah.
I've saved up for another clue, so I'm gonna buy one.
Yes, you have. All
I
right.
got $75 by my reckoning. Is that what you reckon as well?
I would say 75. Yeah. So that leaves you with 25 left. And your clues. What are you thinking for clues?
I will do 4.
Number 4. The location of the gold only featured in one episode of the Four Feather Falls television series.
One episode only.
One episode only.
Now, I've watched very little Four Feather Falls.
Which is a shame.
I did watch your guide to the geography of Four Feather Falls
Yes, you did.
today in
In preparation for this.
episode. So I feel like that should be a huge tip-off,
It might be. It might
given
be.
all that I know.
Yes.
So I'm going to take a moment here.
He's going to study the map. He's going to run through his clues one more time and really be sure. Could he be ready to make a guess? Could it
I'm
be the
not.
time for that? Or are we going to have to go through a few more challenges first? He's still got a fair few left. Plenty of
That's
options,
true.
plenty of clues, you know. You've got
That's
$25 in the bank.
But I think I want to put my listeners out of their misery.
Well,
And,
someone's enjoying themselves.
And just
All right. I make a lovely game for you, and you say it like that. How dare you?
I mean, at least you got to play with Catherine.
I did. Well, she was much happier about it, let me tell you. She actually, dare I say, enjoyed herself. explain.
Oh man! Wow.
Maybe she didn't have the pressure of broadcasting live while we were doing it. That probably does make a difference.
That's true. That's true. It is not odd numbered, so it is either.
What are we thinking, Ben? What's running through your mind?
Well, I don't know. I'm just gonna pull the trigger and make a guess.
He's making a guess. All right. Well, I will say you do need to roll your dice to get there.
Oh, I have to get there.
You do have to get there, yes, to try and hold together this reality we've created where you're hunting for treasure and all of
All
that.
right,
I think
well-
you do have to make some effort in order to get to the location to try and find.
Where
the
am I
treasure.
anyway? I'm at.
You were last
at last scene.
You were last seen. Where were you last seen? Oh my
Either
goodness. You were at
Sandberg's.
Sandberg's. Yeah, you were
I
at
was at
Sandberg's.
Sandberg's.
Yeah.
I'll hopscotch on up the road. I rolled a 4,
Okay.
so I will go to some place that I haven't been before.
1, 2, 3, 4. I think that puts you at Abe Weeks's ranch. Do you want to attempt that challenge?
Sure.
Alrighty. Who buys Abe Weeks's ranch in the Four Feather Falls episode Land Grabbers? Is it A, Marvin Jackson, B, Morg Fenton, or C, Tex Tucker?
I'm going to go with B, Morg Fenton.
That is correct. You have $30 extra in your bank. That puts you at $55.
Might as
could
well
buy
buy
another clue.
Might as well.
All right. Okie dokie. What number do you want?
Have we done 5? I'll do 5.
All right. Clue number 5. You are unlikely to find cattle at the gold's location.
Yeah, no cattle.
All right. That rules out some things, I'm sure.
Not
Given the direction
on,
you're going in.
Not on my short list.
You have $5 left in the bank, but maybe, just maybe, you're about to get rich. Maybe. Come on, Ben. You can do it. The chat is encouraging you, just so you know. Everyone is rooting for you.
Has everyone else figured it out?
I don't know if they figured it out. I don't think I've seen
Am
any
I the only
guesses,
one who
but
doesn't?
No. I don't think anyone else is following it as closely as you are, to be honest. But I will say that they are rooting for you. They do want you to win. So
That is very kind. I'll roll again. I rolled a 5. I am
well,
going to head
I think
north.
you can go as many spaces as you want within that 5. So where are you heading?
Where am I? I've forgotten.
Where are you? You're at F. Abe Weeks's ranch.
Oh. I'm gonna go to the abandoned caves.
Alrighty. What do you want to do there? You ready for a challenge?
I'll take a challenge. Why not?
All right. Oh. It's gone wrong.
That's a great
There we
challenge.
go. Abandoned Caves. The Four Feather Falls episode Trapped was the first episode of a Jerry Anderson series not to be directed by Jerry Anderson. Who directed it? Was it A, David Elliott, B, Alan Patillo, or C, Arthur Provis? You've got 3 options.
I'm going to
David
say
Elliott,
Arthur
Alan Patillo,
Provis.
Arthur Provis. That is incorrect.
Yeah, it's David
Actually,
Elliott. isn't
David
it?
Elliott. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. But I'm afraid no money for you there.
That is okay.
All right.
I'm just going to go ahead and guess that it is here in the abandoned caves.
All right.
That is my
Make a
guess.
guess. That is your final answer.
Yes.
That is correct. It is the abandoned caves. You have found the gold. You won the game.
Wow. I did not
Congratulations.
really believe in that guess. That was incredibly lucky.
Well done. How was that game overall?
That was great. I need to go roll on more antiperspirant.
I
That was,
bet. Was it tense?
rather tense,
Yeah.
especially when I had to find a plant.
I mean, you handled that with great expertise. Again, when Catherine played it, she ran down to grab a lettuce out of the fridge.
Ah, that was smart.
That was that.
You
Well, smart, working harder, but not smarter because you just
Didn't you
reached
say a
over and grabbed
live
something.
plant though?
Well, that's up for some debate, isn't it?
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
Will this game be available commercially for people to play?
I don't think so. Maybe we could get ITV to license it. Maybe somehow we might be able to persuade them to do that.
Woo!
Oh,
Wow,
dear
that was
me.
challenging. I was very challenged by that.
You
Not
actually-
knowing Four Feather Falls very well.
You were very clever, actually, or lucky, I should say. It was pure
Yeah.
luck. You were lucky in that you didn't actually have more challenges that involved you getting up and running around.
Yeah. What were
You
some of the ones I missed out on that I could have?
If you
stumbled
had gone to Asher's gold mine, you would have had to find something gold colored. And likewise, if you'd gone to the silver mine, it would have been silver colored because I'm really imaginative. Let's see. Yeah, there were all sorts of fun little challenges in there, but you had a good spread, and I would say your Four
did a
Feather Falls
lot.
general knowledge was okay. You maybe could have. You need to brush
Could've
up a
done
little
better.
bit. I think you need to watch a few more episodes, which is fair enough. That's what we're all about here.
Definitely. Definitely could have done better.
Wow.
Well, thank you for that, Jack. Thank you for all the time and effort that you put into that. That was obviously not a quick bear trap that you constructed and then laid in my path.
Yeah.
So thank you.
I think you played very, very well. Well done, Ben.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you,
And
Jack.
thank you all at home for enjoying listening along to the show. We really do appreciate it. If you enjoyed the Security Hazard show, remember we broadcast live every single Wednesday, 6 p.m. UK time. YouTube.com/Jack Knoll. You can subscribe and get all sorts of other Jerry Anderson goodies, including the video where I explain how I put that whole map together, which maybe that appeals. Maybe that appeals less now that we've done that map, but I can assure you that the way that map is all constructed, it's all based on what's in the TV show because it is so rich and detailed and all that sort of thing. So yeah,
Absolutely true.
hope you enjoy that. But yeah, and you can of course subscribe to the podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and all of that as well.
All of those places. Be sure to leave us a rating and a review. If you
Absolutely.
want to help support us in other ways, you can, of course, share our stuff on social media. That helps us out a great deal. But you can
Mhm.
also go to patreon.com/securityhazard to find the hidden treasure of all of the stuff we have on our Patreon page. How's that?
Amazing.
I tied that
Amazing.
together. We have all
Yeah.
sorts of exclusive stuff that you can't find anywhere else. So go check that out. And please
Absolutely.
do support the show. It helps keep us going.
It really does. It really does. And for everything else, go to securityhazard.net. Blog posts, videos, podcasts, it's all there. That's your one-stop shop. And speaking of shop, if you actually, go to shop.securityhazard.net, that will take you straight to my Redbubble page where you can buy yourself a print of the Four Feather Falls map, which Ben is going to model on camera right now. It's a lovely thing. I'm very pleased with the way it turned out. And yes, you can put that up on your wall and say, yep, I know where things are in Four Feather Falls. The ultimate in Anderson collectibles, I would say.
I agree.
And of course, you can find us on social media. Just look for Security Hazard. That's all there. Ben, where can people find you?
You can find me on benwolf.page. That links to all of my different social media channels and things on the internet. This Saturday, Jack, I have a new review coming out on my Starfleet blog. I am reviewing episode 18 of Starfleet, or episode 19 if you're counting that way.
Yeah.
If you count the lost episode. It is a very exciting episode with some tragic scenes in it. And I dig into all of that and talk about the original making of the show. So it's going to be a good time. Tune in on Saturday to read that review. That's at benwolf.page, and that'll link you to starfleetxbomber.substack.com. where I post those reviews regularly.
Yeah, they're well worth catching. All your insights on Starfleet are very, very. It's great because it's a show I'm not so familiar with. So being able to watch it along with you is just it's a great experience. So definitely recommend that. But otherwise, that is all for today's show. Thank you all very much for tuning in. It's been great to have you along, and we will see you in the next one. Take care. Bye for now.